Hi, and congratulations on your 2022 Nissan Versa SV. This is a great little car, very easy on gas, fun to drive, decent amount of room in it for what you get, and some great features. We're going to go back over those features to help refresh your memory on what you got with your new vehicle and help get you up to speed as fast as possible. At the end, if you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All of my contact will happen to follow. Also, if you are in the market and you're just looking at a new vehicle, if you're coming into O'Regan's Nissan on Baker Drive, please ask for me by name. I'd love to help you. Let's have a look at what you get with this. All right, we've got a really nice 8-inch full color touchscreen display. Very easy to set everything up. I've got some presets already done up there, but with the presets on your radio, you can have up to 12 presets. On satellite radio, you get up to 18 different presets there. To set up a phone, you're going to go into settings, and then we're going to go into connections, and you're going to hit add new. From there, you're going to go into the Bluetooth settings on your phone. So settings, possibly connections if it's Android, Bluetooth, and then you're going to look for My Versa. You're going to tap on that, and a number will pop up here. The same number should appear on your phone. Press pair, and then if it's an Apple phone, you're going to press allow once. If it's an Android, you're going to press allow twice. Now also, if you do have an an Android phone, especially if it's a Samsung, and you have a lock screen, you're going to need to back right out to the main settings. You're going to go down to lock screen, and then you're going to go into smart lock. You're going to add a trusted device, and you're going to add My Versa as a trusted device. This will make sure that the vehicle will not disconnect your phone the moment that your screen locks. Fastest way back out of here is just hit the audio button here. Now, here in Nova Scotia, we do have daylight savings time, so settings, clock. Oh, wrong button. We're going to set clock manually, and then I can adjust everything right there. Very quick and easy. Again, press the audio button once you do. If I adjust my time here, it does also adjust it over here as well. Again, making it really simple. Down below here, I have my heated seats and a digital climate control. Now, I do have my fan dial back for the purpose of doing this video. However, if I press the auto button, it automatically determines where my airflow is going to go and what my fan speed is going to be. It does this to make sure that it's going to get me up or down to the temperature desired as fast as possible. And it will make any adjustments necessary here to maintain that temperature. You can manually adjust where your airflow is going here and your fan speed by turning the dial here. Now I can see right away I've got the AC on because it's quite warm outside at 29 degrees Celsius, and it's just about that warm inside the vehicle at the moment. Down below I do have a USB port along with a 12-volt power port and an auxiliary port if needed. My ignition is right down beside my gear shift. Now, something that's not well known is if I'm down in drive and I want sport mode because I'm losing my passing lane and want to pass the car in front of me, on the back of my gear shift here, if I push that, I now see a little S up beside the drive. That means I'm going to have a little more torque on the motor and it's going to be a little more responsive. That's awesome for those situations. Just don't forget to take it back out of sport mode simply by hitting that button on the back again, because sport mode is a little bit harder on gas. It is a handbrake down here, so very easy to operate. Just put it in place, push the button to drop it back down. You do have a couple USB ports back here. Now these ones are strictly for charging, because the one in the front, although it will charge your phone, it will also interact with the vehicle through Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, or read a thumb drive full of music. There is videos from Nissan on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Over here at my steering wheel, on the right hand side, I have my cruise button, and when I hit this, I see it pops up right in the center of my dash here. From there, all I got to do is set my speed, resume the speed, or cancel, or if the speed is already set and I want to increase it or decrease it, I can do that. These two buttons are for my Bluetooth hands-free, and this phone button is going to answer, call, or hang up. The voice button will allow me to make an outbound call. Also, depending on the type of phone that you have, for an Apple phone, if Siri is set up, it will access Siri. If you have an Android phone and Hey Google is set up, it will access that as well, simply by pressing and holding for 2 full seconds. On the left side of my wheel, I've got volume for my radio, so although I do have a dial over here, the button right here, as we'll see, will alter the volume either way. These two buttons here are going to go through my presets when I'm on the radio or satellite radio, simply by going left or right. If I'm streaming music by Bluetooth, it will skip tracks. My OK button with the arrows around it is for our driver display screen here. We're also going to make use of this back button in a few moments. This is the home screen where it does have a digital tachometer, your distance to empty. Your gas gauge is always at the bottom along with your odometer. Your gas gauge when full looks like a full gray bar. As it starts coming down, that means that your gas is coming down. The easiest way to tell if you're not sure is your distance to empty. Now as we move off of this screen, my distance to empty is going to jump down here, as we see there. This is my radio screen, and from this screen, if I press OK, I can change the source of my radio. Simply by pressing the OK button here, it means that I have full control of my audio system all with the touch of a thumb, and I can jump through all of the different options there to put it wherever I want, and then use the volume or the buttons to go through the presets. My next screen over is my fuel economy, and we're going to see why this is running so high in just a moment. There's a graph here as well with some history. Our next screen over, the top one. Now we see there are 4 dots on the side here. That means that I can use the up and down arrows to scroll through the screens. My top option is a digital speedometer with my radio info. And again, if I press the OK button from this screen, I can change the radio info all from here with a push of my thumb. My next screen down is my fuel economy, and this is why it's running so high. We're going to reset this in a moment. In 41 minutes, it's only gone 14 kilometers, so there's been a bit of idling on this. So we're just going to press OK, and we're going to reset all. We'll say yes. Now I'm going to use that back button to back out of that screen, and this takes me back to here. Our next screen down is for our driving aids. So Nissan's full Safety Shield 360 is equipped on this vehicle. That means that you have automatic emergency braking with forward collision warning in the front. Your forward collision warning is something you will experience. So if you're driving down the road and the car in front of you is turning into a parking lot or a driveway, and they're slowed down to about 10 or 15 kilometers an hour as they're rounding that turn, you're doing 50 kilometers an hour approaching them, knowing that they'll be out of the way. As soon as the radar in the front of this gets within range, it will beep at you and it will flash warning up across the screen here. It's letting you know that unless the circumstances change, there is a risk of a collision. That car will finish rounding the turn, nothing else happens, and you carry on as if it never happened. Now, if partway around that turn they stop, or the car that's driving in front of you slams on the brakes, it will beep at you, it'll flash that warning, and if your foot doesn't get to the brake fast enough, your Versa will start to apply the brakes to help avoid or minimize an oncoming collision. The moment your foot is on the brakes, that whole system turns off because you're in full control of your vehicle. There's pedestrian detection as well, which works the exact same way, except it's going to happen even faster. And the reason for that is the car in front of you that hit the brakes still has some forward momentum, while the the person who walked out in front of you does not, and hopefully we will avoid giving them any. Lane departure warning is on this as well. Now for your forward stuff, it will flash up here. For your lane departure warning, it will flash on these lines here. This will work at 60 kilometers an hour or higher. This is more of a highway feature. And if you start to drift out of your lane as you're driving, it will vibrate the steering wheel for you. It's just letting you know that you're starting to drift out of your lane. It's kind of like hitting the rumble strips on the side of the highway. That's run through a camera up here in the windshield that you need to make sure in the winter is kept clean on the outside of the windshield. We also have blind spot indicators out on the corners of the mirrors, and I can see them right there. And again, the same thing on the other side over there. The blind spot indicators will light up and stay lit up a dull orange as long as part of a vehicle is in your blind spot. Now, if my driver's side was lit up, and while it's lit up, I signal to go left, that indicator is going to start to flash and it will beep at me inside the vehicle. It's letting me know that there is something in my blind spot and I do need to have a look over my shoulder to see what's going on there. There's rear cross traffic detection for when you're backing out of a parking spot. If there's anything coming at you from either side within approximately 2 car lengths, It will beep at you inside the vehicle, and whichever side that vehicle is approaching you from, the blind spot indicator on that side will be flashing to let you know. There's rear sonar for when you're backing up as you start to get close to something. So when I put on the backup camera here, I have green, yellow, and red hash marks. And when whatever is behind me gets within the green, it will start to beep at me. And the closer I get back, the faster the beeping will get. When that object is down close to these red hash marks, it will be almost a steady tone coming from the rear sonar. But if I'm still backing up at that point, the rear emergency braking will kick in and it will stop me dead in my tracks by fully applying the brake. The final thing is your high beam assist. Now up top, we have our light sensors, and I'm going to cover those to force our headlights on, which I can see down here. And when I move my signal indicator, as long as it's in the auto position, to the high beam position, I now see a green bullet with an A. That means that my high beams are now automatic. So what will happen there is I could be driving along, and when there's nothing in front of me, all of a sudden the little blue light up top here will pop up because the high beams will come on automatically. As soon as this camera up here sees headlights or tail lights, it will automatically turn off the high beam assist and put me back to the regular headlights. That's what that is. You can leave this in this position permanently, or you can put it there just when you want it. Either way, it works quite well. And let's remove that back off so the headlights turn back off. Our next screen down is a tire pressure monitoring system. Now this will appear once I start to drive. It'll show me the individual pressure for all four wheels. At any given point, if I get a low tire, whether it's while I'm driving or as soon as I turn the vehicle on, it will tell me which tire is low and what the exact pressure is. From there, if I pull into somewhere that has an air pump, like a service station, take the hose, go to the wheel it says needs air, and start putting air in, but leave your Versa running while you do this. As long as you do so, as soon as it gets up to the correct pressure, your horn will beep once to tell you to stop putting air in. If for some reason you keep putting air in or went to the wrong tire, there is an upper limit. If you hit this upper limit, it will beep your horn 3 times in a row. Please stop putting air in your tire. We do recommend at that point that you start letting some back out. And when you start letting some back out, again, once it gets down to the correct pressure, the horn will beep once to tell you to stop. Our last screen over is our settings. There is a couple things that I do customize in here, not much. I want to check in my driver assistance to make sure everything is turned on. And I know the emergency brake stuff is because it comes on every single time that you turn the vehicle. The parking is your rear cross traffic and the sonar. From there, I'm going to come down to vehicle settings, and I want to go to locking and then auto door unlock. Now by default, ignition off is where these come equipped. I always switch it up to shift to park. And what this means is instead of having to wait to turn the vehicle off for the doors to automatically unlock, the moment I shift into park, it will automatically unlock for me now. I'm going to hit the back button twice, and I'm going to come down to wipers and make sure speed dependent is turned on. This means that when my wipers are on intermittent, no matter what speed I've set, if I'm driving residentially, the moment I loop out to a higher speed zone like a highway, even though I'm going faster, without touching this at all, the delay on the wipers will shorten a little bit because it is speed dependent. I'm going to come back out of here, and I'm back out of vehicle settings and down to maintenance, oil and filter. That's set at 8,000 kilometers, which is perfect. So I'll come back out, and there's nothing else that I need to do here, so I'll go back to the main screen, and that's it. I really hope this helped you with all of the settings on your new vehicle or new to you vehicle, whichever the case may be, and helps get you up to speed as fast as possible. But if you do still have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can call, text, email, or stop into O'Regan's Nissan at 60 Baker Drive in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I'd love to help you. As I mentioned, if you are in the market for a new vehicle and watching this video to see what's involved with this, if you come into O'Regan's Nissan, please ask for me. I'll do everything I can to help put you in one of these as fast as possible. Hope to hear from you soon, and I hope to see you when you in for regular service.